Since the day she first took office in January 2012, Mayor Sharon Wolcott has focused her efforts on moving Surprise away from being a bedroom community into a vibrant, well-balanced city. Right out of the gate, the mayor set her sights on creating more jobs, and we know today it's jobs, jobs, and jobs, providing education options and addressing traffic congestion. The mayor is also placing a lot of time and attention on helping the city plan for quality growth, with an emphasis on new business development for Surprise. While taking care of the home front, she continues to devote countless hours representing Surprise at the regional and state levels, ensuring Arizona's 10th largest city is an active participant on important projects and issues. And I can tell you that from firsthand experience that Mayor Wolcott's active participation and advocacy for her city has earned the respect of her peers at other national, at municipal, county, and state agencies, as well as the private sector. And I would tell you, I am totally amazed, Mayor, about all of the leaders that I see in the audience here today all over the region. And with that, that speaks volumes. Without a doubt, Mayor Wolcott certainly has raised the stature of Surprise in the eyes of the region, and the state stature and the city stature continues to blossom under her leadership. As a result, the city's 125,000 plus residents and those of us in the business community are benefiting from her ability to help drive solutions to our community most pressing and important challenges and opportunities. Just as important, we all know the mayor as someone who very much cares about her community and her constituents. No matter how busy she is, she always makes time for each and every one of us. And now, please join me. It is my honor and privilege to introduce to you Surprise Mayor Sharon Wolcott.
Well, good morning, everyone. As always, it's a thrill to see such a wonderful response to this annual event as I share with you the great story of Surprise and explore our exciting future. First, I'd like to begin by thanking the Surprise Regional Chamber of Commerce for hosting the 2016 State of Surprise. You are wonderful partners, and you're doing great things to unite our business community. Thank you, Sun Health, for sponsoring today's breakfast, and for all you contribute to Surprise, including the multi-million-dollar investment you're making in our community just outside these doors. I'd also like to introduce my fellow colleagues on the City Council. Please join me in recognizing Vice Mayor Jim Biondo, Councilmember Roland Winters, Councilmember John Williams, Councilmember Rachel Villanueva, Councilmember Skip Hall, and Councilmember Todd Tandy. I'm also honored to have several leaders from our neighboring communities here today. Please welcome Peoria Mayor Kathy Carlott, Youngtown Mayor Mike LaVault, and Buckeye Mayor Jackie Meck. Thank you for being here. You know, from my very first day in office, I posed the question, who do we want to be as a city when we grow up? And right away, we went to work to answer that question. Over the years, we've rolled up our sleeves to plot a course that would create the right vision for Surprise, to set the foundation for sustainable success. And today, I'm pleased to report that our compass is on target. The state of our city is very promising, and it's our time to put these plans into action. Already those plans are leading to successful results. Just a few days ago, the City Council voted to begin working with our partners at Surprise Center Development to finalize an agreement, an agreement that sets into motion the path for developing our downtown city center. Just 1 year ago, I stood before you and announced that Iris USA was moving their Western U.S. headquarters and advanced manufacturing facility to Surprise. This spring, they opened for business, and this company is wasting no time in becoming a true community and regional partner. Recently, I was pleased to appoint Iris USA President Chet Kaiser to join me on the Greater Phoenix Economic Council Board of Directors. I look forward to working with him side by side, as Chet brings a wealth of knowledge to grow our global presence at GPEC. Thank you, Chet. We're also adding hundreds of local new jobs in the fields of medicine, thanks to the recent opening of Cobalt Rehabilitation Hospital. This facility is dedicated to helping treat patients with brain injuries, a first for the West Valley. Main Street, a $20 million hotel-like medical recovery facility, will open this year, bringing head-of-household jobs and the very best in patient care to our city. Those are just some of the most recent examples of success. And we hope, when we hosted our legislators at a recent breakfast, we provided them with a 5-year business recap of how a strong Surprise equals a strong Arizona. The numbers are truly amazing. Since 2011, the city of Surprise has contributed nearly $50 million in local sales tax revenues to the state's economy. In all, we've added more than 300 new businesses and more than 1,000 new jobs. We grew 350,000 square feet of new retail space, 1 million square feet of new industrial, and 180,000 square feet of medical office space. And just over the past year, we issued more than 1 million square feet of commercial building permits. Now, I begin this morning focused on economic development because everything we do here relies on a sustainable economy. The future looks bright for a city like Surprise. In fact, according to Forbes, the Phoenix area metro has cracked the top 10 list of best places for job growth over the next 3 years. And this city is ready. It's our time. At the direction of City Council, our Economic Development Department created a strategic plan to create a sustainable world-class community with global connectivity. We aim to facilitate improved quality of life and advanced level of services for the community through the promotion of entrepreneurship, employment, and enhanced opportunities for investors and residents. Do not underestimate our will. We are looking for partnerships that allow us to assist growing companies with expansion into the U.S. market and to better serve our local employers here in Surprise. We are working to advance a diverse, high-tech employment base focused on the key industries of energy, medical and biomedical, aerospace and defense, education, including a residential university, and STEM-based capabilities, and other emerging technologies. Yes, we continue to explore ways to attract family-oriented development, entertainment, and retail, while at the same time we travel to investment-rich Canada to market our foreign trade zone and shovel-ready amenities to global firms. While it typically takes 3 to 5 years to build these relationships, our strategy with Canada is yielding a wealth of connections and even better results. Canadians love the allure of the West, and where better to fall in love than in a new frontier called Surprise, Arizona. Arizona's economic ties to Canada are substantial. According to the Arizona Commerce Authority, approximately 1 in every 20 jobs in this state depends on trade and investment with Canada. Citing statistics from Canada-Arizona Business Council and the Maricopa Association of Governments, the Phoenix Business Journal reports that 94% of foreign-owned homes in Arizona are owned by Canadians. There are more than 16,000 workers in Maricopa County employed by Canadian businesses. Surprise must continue to pursue this very lucrative market. Last year, I said that we have world-class aspirations, that Surprise wants to be a global community with investments from Japan and Spain at our Skyway Business Park, located within a designated foreign trade zone. We're already there. Over the past year, we have forged relationships with more than 100 businesses and investors from many countries, including Canada, Mexico, Singapore, the Netherlands, Brazil, and China. Some have even popped into town to kick the tires a little to get to know our community better. And this spring, members from our economic development team will travel to Germany to attend Hannover Messe, the world's largest trade show for industrial goods and technology. That puts us, Surprise, in front of 5.5 million business contacts from 70 countries, because Surprise is focused on growing an innovative business base. And we will also visit Eindhoven, Holland, the world's most inventive city. According to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, Eindhoven produced nearly 23 patents for every 10,000 residents, whereas the second-ranked San Diego produces under 9 patents for every 10,000 residents. How exciting to think that one day Surprise could be the birthplace of the next Google or Tesla or Apple. Our global strategy has us working very hard to secure additional foreign direct investment in Surprise. FDI creates direct, stable, and long-lasting links between economies. It spurs development. It encourages the transfer of ideas and technology between countries. There are 320 million people living in the United States, while the world population stands at 7.3 billion. If we don't think and act globally, we are missing out on 95% of the world market. And this 95% represents 80% of the world's purchasing power. Today, FDI represents $240 billion of annual investment in the United States. FDI accounts for about 83,000 jobs in Arizona. But by contrast, FDI accounts for about 476,000 jobs in Texas. Clearly, we have some catching up to do. Another benefit of exporting jobs into our community is that these foreign-owned companies tend to pay higher salaries and purchase supplies and services from other local companies. More local, high-paying jobs and funding into our city translates to a more vibrant Surprise economy. Through a new partnership with Thunderbird School of Global Management, our city is refining a global business strategy to ensure we market Surprise in new and more diverse ways to businesses and investors throughout the world. Of course, one of the best ways to attract these companies is by letting them know the caliber of our workforce. This past year, we began partnering with the communities and organizations that make up our Westmark and our regional partner, MAG, to develop a workforce tool called West Valley Pro. Now, this new tool will better connect new major employers with the talent here at home. And you know what? The talent is right here in the West Valley. Don't you agree? You do. Their research to date shows a major discrepancy when it comes to where the engineering, business, management, and other high-skilled jobs are located versus where these employees actually live. While these quality jobs are mostly in the East Valley, many of the positions are filled by West Valley residents. We must continue to build infrastructure in the West Valley to attract these employers here, where the talented workforce already lives. I'm sure an engineer that lives in Surprise would love to give up that commute all the way to Chandler for work, don't you? While we are targeting more large employers, our support of small business remains equally important. We've not forgotten that these mom-and-pop shops are the backbone of our economy. And that's why we've spent $500,000 last year to renovate the AZ TECHCELERATOR. Our former City Hall has been transformed into a thriving business incubator. A recent graduate of MD24 House Call grew up from 3 employees to 150 employees and moved into a large office space in the city. And another tenant, Athena Wireless, was acquired by Google earlier this year, making Surprise the only city in Arizona to have a Google presence. The AZ TECHCELERATOR, yes. The AZ TECHCELERATOR also launched 2 new business-friendly programs. The Beehive co-working space provides shared facilities and support for work-at-home professionals who may not fit the usual TECHCELERATOR innovation startup profile. And the Global Concierge Service is dedicated to the success of international companies looking to expand into the US market. Julie Neal, who manages the AZ TECHCELERATOR, has done an amazing job growing this facility, from its focus on local entrepreneurs to an international melting pot and potential home to new Surprise employees. As you can see, our economic development team is doing an outstanding job to attract new employers, and our peers in the industry are taking notice. The Arizona Association for Economic Development named our very own Mike Hoover the state's Economic Developer of the Year. And his colleague, Janine Jerkovic, is next in line to serve as the chair of GPEC's Economic Development Director team. Collectively, this gives Surprise a seat at the table where discussions are made surrounding strategic economic development at a regional level. Janine, Julie, and Mike, I see you on both sides of the room. Please join me in congratulating them and take a look at our team. They're terrific. These are some of the faces of long-term success in Surprise. Among the leading indicators of a successful economy is a good transportation system, and we are making progress on this front. For more than a decade, we've been waiting, but finally, the much-anticipated Bell Grand Interchange project kicks off in earnest this spring. Thank you, Joe. Yes, a side note, I know that some painful times might be coming, but it'll be well worth the wait. By taking Bell over the railroad tracks and Grand Avenue, we are improving safety and easing traffic congestion. This $42 million infrastructure improvement, which was fully funded in 2004 through Prop 400, is a critical piece in the development of our future downtown at City Center. And let's face it, Bell Grand is in fact the front door of our downtown. The bottom line is that businesses chase new infrastructure, from new roads and bridges to water, education, and housing. Investing in these types of projects is a major economic development tool. I ask that you keep that in mind during the construction period. The short-term inconvenience will require patience, and remembering that at the end of the day, it's the price we must pay for progress moving forward. Today, City Center is home to the Civic Center campus, the Arts HQ, and nearby recreation amenities. And with the bulk of our improvements at our busiest intersection to be complete by the end of this year, I am confident we will be welcoming new business neighbors very soon. This is a very important commercial corridor for our city. And during construction, we have a plan in place to assist nearby businesses. Our city manager created a task force made up of senior staff members throughout our organization who will be exploring new and creative ways to support these businesses and encourage your continued patronage. Shop Surprise, Shape Surprise. I see those buttons all around the room, and don't forget it. Those continued patronage really serves our city well. For some time now, city staff and ADOT have been meeting with the businesses in the area, and this extensive door-to-door outreach will continue throughout the construction. We want our businesses to share any concerns that they may have and address them as quickly as possible. We'll be creative in the use of signage to promote these great places, and access points will be maintained. Let's all do our part as consumers to support these businesses and keep valuable sales tax dollars right here in Surprise. Belle Grande isn't the only east-west travel improvement the region is investing in. By June, work on the Loop 303 Grand Avenue overpass will be complete. ADOT has done an outstanding job on this project, and Surprise is widening key sections of Greenway and Cactus Roads. You are tired of these half-built streets, and so are we. The city also remains committed to the revitalization of the Grand Avenue corridor. MAG's Compass study looks to address the bottleneck and congestion points. And you know, when this study began, there were more than 400 access points along Grand from Phoenix to Surprise. I know because I counted them myself. The study recommends reducing that number by half to keep traffic moving more freely. And looking more long-term, the study also supports commuter rail along the corridor. But because you can't run before you walk, the first step to getting commuter rail is to implement a bus rapid transit line, or BRT. BRT funding for this corridor was included in Prop 400 funding, but was removed from the plan in 2009. Our new West Valley must work together to get that funding back in place, to make BRT a reality on Grand, the Loop 303, and the I-10, fully connecting the West Valley. Of course, making this a reality requires collaboration. And I'm happy to say we have very strong relationships with our regional partners. The very fact that Mayors Meck, Carlotte, and Lavalde have joined us this morning demonstrates the solidarity among us, a united front that we must continue to build upon. I'm very pleased they are here with us today. Thank you so much for joining us. To ensure the Compass study does not get placed on a shelf to collect dust, ongoing meetings with our planning partners will be instituted so that leaders from cities all along Grand Avenue continue to track progress, identifying funding sources and refining ways to make Grand Avenue truly grand. Valley Metro is working on the Grand Avenue High Capacity Transit Study, which supports the Compass study in evaluating the need to dedicate transit lanes on Grand exclusively for BRT. We must closely examine all land use policies all along Grand Avenue to make it a successful corridor for people, for public transit, and for business. Part of our strategy in Surprise was to bring density uses like education and training facilities to Grand Avenue to make it more people-friendly and truly regionally connected. Westmac has committed to building their flagship skill center in Surprise on Grand near Dysart that will someday train 900 students, including veterans. These students will most certainly benefit from high-capacity transit options. Through these studies, we want to make sure that the West Valley gets its fair share of public transit support. The Grand Avenue corridor just screams for bus rapid transit, which can serve as a launching pad for future commuter rail. Let's work together, and let's make it happen. Another critical component to growing a self-sufficient economy is education. Employers want to locate where the schools are graduating smart and skilled workers. The research coming out of the MAG-Westmark partnership is providing incredible data on the ASU graduates, both recent and historical, giving us a profile of how Surprise and the West Valley communities have a rich talent pool across a myriad of professional disciplines. Thanks to the voter-approved override, Dysart Unified School District will hire hundreds more teachers and fund all-day kindergarten to help provide an educational jumpstart for our future leaders. Joining us today are Dysart School Board President Bonnie Schrader, fellow board members Tracy Sawyer-Sinkbau, Jennifer Tanner, and the state's Superintendent of the Year, Gail Pletnick. Congratulations to all of you. Our latest education partnership with Gateway Community College has resulted in the construction of a training facility at our Spa One water treatment plant. It will allow students interested in water and wastewater careers to obtain an education while training alongside our professionals in the field. These are good-paying jobs and help provide the next generation of employees in a field losing many to retirement. Again, WestMech will also begin construction this year on the Surprise campus along Grand Avenue. And this new campus will offer a variety of programs, including cybersecurity and coding courses, supporting career technical education, including training in the culinary arts, nursing services, biosciences, and public safety fields is so very important to our entire state. That's why when a reporter recently asked me what I would like to see from our state legislatures this year, I asked that they identify solutions to permanently fund joint technical education districts, or JTEDs. JTEDs are a critical piece in attracting business locates, and in many cases can make or break a deal to attract a business that is relying on that workforce training availability, and particularly with foreign companies. I must also congratulate the students that serve on the Surprise Youth Council. Since I introduced them at this event a year ago, they have been hard at work creating a first ever youth master plan for Surprise. They're also preparing the rollout of a campaign encouraging their peers to engage with one another and not isolate themselves. It is a profound message, and I'm so very proud of them. Please stand and be recognized. I've shared with you some of the amazing things about Surprise, and our residents concur with the direction of our city. In the recently completed National Citizen Survey, our city's report card, nearly 90% of residents recommend Surprise as a great place to live. They appreciate living in a clean city and tell us they feel safe here, and they should. Our public safety officials are doing an amazing job on that front. The Surprise Fire Medical Department is now providing ambulance service that is helping to enhance EMS services and reduce the time it takes to get people to the hospital. This was a priority of mine, and I'm pleased to report that it is a success. In only the first 2 months of operation, we made 336 transports. This department also received the American Heart Association's Mission Lifeline EMS Silver Award for successful treatment of patients who experience severe heart attacks. This past summer, I had the honor of attending a change of command ceremony at the Surprise Police Department. After a 40-year career in law enforcement, Mike Frazier moved into a new role as one of our assistant city managers. And it was so special to watch Terry Young's wife pin on his new police chief badge. Congratulations, Chief Young. And Mike, we are so very fortunate to have your considerable skills and witty sense of humor on the 4th floor. The men and women of the Surprise Police Department are positively engaged with the community, now more than ever, popping up in local shopping centers and neighborhood block parties to meet people and to spread the word about crime prevention. And congratulations to our volunteer police citizen patrol team. They won the 2015 International Association of Chiefs of Police Award for outstanding achievement in law enforcement volunteer programs. Outstanding. I offer my sincere gratitude to the men and women that respond to emergencies on a daily basis, often missing holidays and special moments with their families in order to serve and protect residents and visitors. I do want to take a moment to thank our police personnel for their superb investigative work, their professionalism, and their compassion in response to the recent tragedy that rocked our community. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for keeping us safe. I can't thank you enough. Thank you. As evident by our public safety personnel, Surprise is a community that cares for the young and the young at heart. That's why last year we created the Human Service and Community Vitality Department in support of the vision of One Surprise. This department's goal is to strengthen partnerships with various community government and nonprofit agencies to better serve our residents. A strong community is one in which we come to the assistance of those in need. And through a partnership with Maricopa County, this city department was able to open the Surprise Community Action Program, or CAP office. This office allows qualified individuals to apply for emergency assistance to cover rent payments or utility bills. An unexpected crisis should not force a person from having to choose between buying needed medicine or covering that month's rent. Just a little help can go a long way. And by addressing short-term issues, we are eliminating long-term problems. Helping people get through a temporary setback means they can stay in their home and remain self-sufficient. As the classic Beatles song goes, I get by with a little help from my friends. And I am so humbled to live in a city that feels the same way. Surprise is also giving back to those that gave so much to us, our veterans. You won't believe this, but 12% of our residents are veterans, and they need to know that we are here for them. The city created an employment preference program for veterans looking to join the Surprise police and fire medical teams. We've also honored these brave men and women during their first Veterans Day parade last November. Wasn't it great? And I'm proud to serve with Senator John McCain and Representative Trent Franks, business and community leaders, and fellow West Valley mayors on the Veterans Success Project Advisory Committee. This new Veterans Initiative, which the Maricopa Community College District kicked off in December, promises to help reintegrate veterans back into the community upon the completion of their active duty. One of the project's first ventures is the establishment of a new West Valley Veterans Center. This center will serve as a regional hub and provide various resources under one roof to help transition them back to civilian life. Services will include education, employment, health and wellness, and housing. In Surprise, we want to provide the best quality of life possible to all our residents, and we are succeeding. Last year, we were named a national finalist by MetLife Foundation and Generations United for their America's Best Intergenerational Communities Award. Surprise was recognized as solidifying relationships between generations, from our youth council, learning the game of pickleball from our senior citizens, to teens volunteering to teach new technologies to our more seasoned residents. We are one amazing intergenerational community. One of the best things about living in Surprise is that we all work together to shape this city. I will continue to place a heavy emphasis on building and nurturing one Surprise. Thanks in large part to resident and business feedback, we made important changes to the city's general plan. This was a year-long project. Our residents said they wanted a united city. So we repurposed the village plan and created a character area plan that is more flexible and responsive to future businesses and development, and will create a more unified, connected Surprise. More than 3,000 of you shared your retail must-wants on our retail survey. And I promise we are working hard on getting your most wanted brand here, Costco. Janine says her efforts are shameless, and I believe it. I offer a huge thanks to those of you that received and participated in the National Citizen Survey last fall. Sharing your thoughts with us does take time, and I appreciate you giving back to your community. Your feedback and engagement is critical to the process of growing and maintaining this city. I and your council hear you. While you tell us we are a clean and safe place to live, we have work to do on the public transportation and education fronts, for example. Residents tell us they want more transportation services, but public transportation is a heavy lift. I see Valley Metro is in the back of the room. Keep that in mind. It's a heavy lift. We know we're there. We're ready. It takes years of planning, projects to come to fruition, and it also requires ongoing and dedicated funding sources to launch and operate long-term. Yes, it's true, we are witnessing many successes, but I caution that while Surprise is 56 years young as a community, the city is at the point in which much of our infrastructure is aging and in need of repair, maintenance, and in some cases, even replacement. Just last year, we began a fast-track schedule for renovating our 13-year-old Surprise Stadium. Seems hard to believe that it's 13 years old. But through the clubhouse renovations, we were able to renovate our contract with the Rangers and Royals as well through January 2030. In 2000, that's great news. In 2003, we committed to fund a spring training facility, and now we are the campus of champions. Oh, and be sure and mark March 5th on your calendars as we celebrate the Royals' World Series win at our ballpark. Kansas City Mayor Sly James will be here, so let's show him how very proud we are of this team's success. The month of March is second only to December in terms of sales tax collections for our city. Retail sales in March represent a $250,000 increase over the other months, except holiday shopping time. I can tell you that without Surprise Stadium, we would not have the retail sales and hotel bed taxes coming in each winter like we do now. We invested in ourselves, and it's paying off. Moving forward, continued investments in water infrastructure, streets, public safety are critical to our growing city. Citing the National Citizen Survey results, 94% of residents agreed that investing in water resources is a priority for the city over the next 3 years. Completing our half-built streets, protecting the white tanks, building more parks, and creating an internal circulator transportation system also ranked high on your list. While we celebrated the Surprise Farms and Viramonte Park improvements last year, we are still well behind the curve on park space per resident. All of these things are what world-class cities need in order to preserve quality of life and to attract new businesses and jobs. We have the plans in place to make these things happen. However, we must explore new and alternative revenue sources to fund these projects that our residents have told us are their hometown priorities. Sales and property taxes aren't enough, as those revenues are just being used to keep up with current programming and service demands in this growing community. We must work with our residents and businesses to identify new funding sources that will attract more economic development projects and not only maintain, but enhance our quality of life. Yes, we've had some success. We've planned. Now it's our time to step up. We know who we want to be. Let's invest in ourselves and commit to getting there. As I close out my first term as mayor of the 10th largest city in Arizona, I am so proud of the work my council colleagues and I and the entire City of Surprise team have accomplished. We have stabilized the city's finances, strengthened our budget reserve, regained the confidence of our residents, and have made great strides in enhancing Surprise's presence regionally and nationally, and even internationally. Although we are just getting started in reaching our economic development aspirations, the number of new business locates as well as our job growth has been remarkable over the past 4.5 years. Previous to that, it seemed as though we made a big economic development announcement once a year at this event. Now, significant commercial development projects are being announced quarterly, sometimes even on a monthly basis. So stay tuned. Surprise is open for business. Overall, I'm thrilled with what we've been able to achieve and encouraged by the tremendous opportunities that are in front of us. We are teed up and we are ready to go. Surprise is well positioned for even greater things over the next 5 years and primed to claim a full decade of progress. I asked our residents, businesses, and other community stakeholders for their continued involvement and support as we continue to move our city forward. It's our time. Thank you. God bless you.
Yeah.